So welcome back to the class. So in yesterday's class we were dealing with we have started about web related topics in this chapter, that is internet applications. So we have seen about what is a web server, and we have also seen what is the working of a web server. Okay, how does a web server works? And also we have also seen what is a we have seen different http commands. Okay, so what are the http commands used, and how they are when they are used, and what is their purpose. Okay, so something like that. Okay, so we have seen different we have gone through these two topics in this session. We'll try to in previous class we thought that we wanted to cover go through that web browser operation, but operation of web browser was unable to I was unable to start it. Why? Because due to the time limitation factor. So in today's class we'll try to see the operation of a web browser. Okay, so next, web browser. Okay, web browser is nothing but it is a application. Web browser is a application that is present on user side. It is present on user side, or some user side also, it can be also said as a client. Okay, it is present on the client in www interaction. Okay, so a web browser acts as a client. Okay, it acts as a client. From client side, whatever the web related issues, it will be the operations are performed by using web browser. The operations are performed by a web browser. So for example, if you want to view a web page, you will be using a web browser. Okay, so apart from that, suppose nowadays you are having many applications. For YouTube you are having a specific application, for mailing purpose you are having a mail application, but for browser always you can also watch YouTube by using browser. You can also watch uh, you can also access your emails by using browser. Okay, so browser can be used for multiple purposes, but now you are also having specific applications for different other web related operations, like browsing and all those things, like watching YouTube video and what accessing your mail. But basic operation of browser is to access a web page, that is www, that is world wide web interaction. Okay, so using a web browser, user sends a request for web page. Okay, so whenever a user wants to send request for a web page, he will be using a web server. He will be using a web server. Okay, so a web browser will be used. Using a web browser, a request for the web page will be sent. Okay, so this request for the web page will be sent by web browser, and it will be sent to web server. It will be sent to web server, and web server is a place where your web pages are stored. Okay, so using this web browser program, a user sends a request for a specific web page that is stored on a web browser. Okay, so the web server, once it receives a request from the web browser for a specific web page, the web browser will search that web page, and it will send it back to the computer. It will send it back to the computer. Okay, the web browser displays the web page in HTML format on the client computer screen. Okay, so the whatever the in previous class also I have explained, the server will respond with the HTML tags of the web page. Okay, whatever the web page is there, the server will contain the HTML tags or HTML code of the specific web page, and HTML tags will be sent back to the user. And at the user side, the browser will decode, or it will execute the code the browser will execute the code and it will it will show into a readable format. So using HTML tags, you can have different font styles, different font sizes, you can have different graphics, okay, different alignment of text, graphics can be added, all these things. And also you can also have motion moving text, okay. Your text will be moving from left to right or from top to bottom or bottom to top. There are different possibilities that are possible when you are using a web browser, that when you are using by HTML there are a lot number of possibilities, okay. So here you can see this is the operation here first. Now here for example you can see a web browser wants to have access a web page, and that is nothing but yahoo.com/index is the URL is nothing but uniform resource locator, okay. So whatever the web page you are requesting, that URL you will be typing, okay. So that URL will be carried to the web server. It will be carried to the web server, and at the web server the server will check for the that whatever the request that has been sent by the web browser. See here, the web browser, it was requesting for the yahoo.com, so it will go for the yahoo.com, and in that it will check for this index/index. So that is the web page, okay, that is the web page that you are requesting, okay. So it will send the HTML file related to that web page, and it will send it back to the user, okay. So that will be whenever that thing, whenever it is received, so it will after receiving that web page, after receiving the HTML tags, the web browser present over here, it will try to decode or it will try to execute those HTML tags, and that will be displayed into a readable format, okay. So that is the thing. Now let us see what is the working of a web browser, okay. So here web browser, okay. So here the user will try to the user or the user on the client will first type the full name of the file name including domain name of the web server on the screen provided by web browser program running on his computer. This full name is called uniform resource locator, okay. It is nothing but whatever the web address, whatever the web page you want to access. So for example www dot so sometimes what happens, now you are having directly Google, so in Google you are directly typing some name, okay. So you are getting so many web pages. So for example if I type something like a optical fiber, if I just type in Google optical fiber, at the bottom it will display all the different web pages which will have the information regarding optical fiber, okay. Now whenever you click on that specific web page, so the whatever the URL that is that will provide that is related to that specific web page will be sent through that web browser, okay. Whatever the URL that is that you are by just clicking that specific URL will be sent, or else you can, if you know the complete URL, okay, if you know there is a, if you know complete URL, you can directly type in the whatever the text, okay. So whatever the uh, so you can just type that URL in the browser, okay. So once you type that URL and press enter, so that will reach the web server, that request for that specific web page will be reaching the web server, okay. So but first, to reach to the web server, so the first thing, if from the browser to access the data from the web server, the there should be a link between the browser and server. Okay, so whenever whatever you are typing in the web browser, whatever the URL you are typing in the web browser, so that URL will be stored in a, so that is nothing but, that URL is nothing but it is a specific web page, right? So whatever the URL you are typing in a web browser, it is nothing but it is a specific web page. It is nothing but it is a specific web page. The so that specific web page will be present in on a web server. That specific web page will be present on a web server. It will be present on a web server. So in order to reach to that specific web server, so there should be a link between the your browser and that server. First your browser should know where is that your browser, or from your computer there should be a link from your computer to that server. So first thing is you should know what is the, where is that server. So generally your first step will be a server, any system that is connected on internet, any system that is connected to internet, it will have a IP address. It will have a IP address. So first thing is, any system can be identified over internet by using its IP address. So if you have IP address, it is very easy to find wherever that host or wherever that server is, you can easily locate that host or server. So first thing that will be done is the DNS, the browser will request for DNS. Okay, the browser will request for DNS at the client side to get the IP address. So as I said, DNS server is a server which will store the IP address, related to specific web page or specific domain name. So each domain name will have specific IP address. So that IP address will be stored by your DNS server. So what happens, your browser will try to, every user will have a DNS server, every user will be connected to a DNS server. So what happens, so first the whatever you are typing, okay, see that URL will be given to the DNS server. Okay, from the client side, that will be given to the DNS server, and based upon that it will understand, the DNS server will check for the it will check its own memory, and if it knows the IP address, it will immediately reply with the IP address. Okay, if it knows the IP address of the specific web page, it will reply back to the web browser with the IP address. It will reply back to the web page with the web browser with the IP address of the server. It will give the IP address of the server. If it does not know the IP address, it will try to ask the other DNS servers. So a DNS server will also be connected with other alternate DNS servers. So alternate DNS servers will have the, if a DNS server, if in a DNS server if it is unable to find the IP address, then it will ask other alternate DNS servers. So it is known as alternate DNS server. Okay, so at the end, by any means, so if it has, it will give it back immediately. If it does not have, it will ask other DNS server. So in one way or the other, it will get the IP address and it will give it to the web browser. Okay, so that is the thing, DNS replies with the IP address for web page. Okay, so the DNS, the domain name system server, will reply with the IP address, okay, to the web browser. Okay, replies with the IP address of the web page to the web browser. Now by using this IP address, of the web page that is given by the DNS server, by using the IP address of the web page that is given by the server, the user will establish a TCP connection. So the browser will establish a, user means here browser. Okay, so in previous also we have said a browser acts as a client or user. Okay, so by using the IP address given by the DNS server, the browser makes a TCP connection. The browser makes a TCP connection. Okay, then after getting the after establishing the TCP connection, okay, now so there is a channel from your browser to server. Okay, so by establishing the channel from browser to server, that means you are having a channel which can, through which you can carry the data, through which you can send the data from your browser to server. Okay, you are having a TCP reliable connection between browser and server, and this connection can be used for transmission of data between your browser and server. Okay, now here then, after establishing the TCP connection, the client will request for the web page using HTTP request. Okay, so here after TCP connection is established, the next thing is it has to send commands. It has to send request for the web page. It has to send the request for the web page. So in order to send the request for the web page, the commands that are used are HTTP command. That command that are used are HTTP commands. Now in order to generate HTTP commands, the you will be using, you need to have HTTP software. Okay, so the browser will call the HTTP software on the client. Okay, the browser will call the HTTP software running on the client machine to send the commands, whatever the commands that are required for accessing a web page. Okay, so now that is so HTTP client side software will generate the commands. It will generate the commands. Okay, now here whatever the in after this, next step is HTTP software on the client now hands over HTTP request to the TCP IP software running on the client. So that is nothing but whatever the commands are there, whatever the commands that have to be transmitted to the destination, whatever the commands that have to be transmitted to the destination, those commands are transmitted. Uh, those commands are those commands are handed over to TCP/IP software of client side. TCP/IP software on client side. So here, so what is the necessity of this handing over of commands to TCP/IP software running on the client side is nothing but here in internet the all the commands or anything, the data, the commands or anything, they will be transmitted in the form of packets. They will be transmitted in the form of packets. So here even your HTTP commands, that are to be transmitted from the user side, they also have to be transmitted in the form of packets, so they have to be converted into packets. So for that purpose, your TCP/IP software will try to convert the commands into packets. It will try to convert the commands into packets. Okay, so that is why HTTP software on the client side, it will generate the HTTP commands, and the generated HTTP commands will be handed over to TCP/IP software so that it will be converted into packets. Okay, so now that is the thing. Now here the next step, the TCP/IP software running on the client breaks the HTTP requests into packets and sends them over TCP to the web server. So that is the thing. Now here whenever the TCP/IP software, after getting the commands from the client, it will break the HTTP commands into packets. It will break the HTTP commands into packets and then requests, and then sends them over TCP to the web server. Okay, the packets are sent to the web server. Okay, so using the whatever the TCP connection you have established by using IP address, that TCP connection will be used to send the packets, and these packets will have the HTTP commands. Okay, next step is, after the now up to here you have transmitted the HTTP commands in the form of packets over the TCP connection that has been established during the at the starting of the communication to the server. Okay, the packets which contain the HTTP commands are transmitted from web browser to web server using the TCP connection that is established at the beginning of the communication. That is the thing. Now here next step is the TCP IP software running on the web server reassembles the HTTP request using the packets received and gives it to the HTTP software application layer running on the web server. Okay. So here at the web server, your web server will receive the TCP IP software running over the server side. It will receive the packets which contain the HTTP commands. It will receive those packets, and after receiving those packets, it will once again reorganize the packets, reassemble the packets. It will put all the packets together so that it gets a it will get some meaningful, it gets some meaning. Okay, so if all the packets are put together, then only it will have some meaning, so it will put all the packets together and it will check for any errors or anything any shortfalls. If everything is fine, so assuming that everything is fine, then it will give it to the HTTP software application layer running on the web server. Okay, so it will hand over the assembled packets, that is entire message. By assembling packets, it is having a message. This message is nothing but the HTTP command, HTTP command, and along with the web URL. Okay, so it will be sent to the HTTP server side software. Okay. Now the HTTP software running on the web server, it will interpret the HTTP request. Okay, so it will try to analyze what is the command that has been transmitted by the web browser. What is the command that is transmitted by the web browser? It will be able to understand. Okay, after studying the entire message. Okay, so here it realizes that the browser has asked for certain file on the server. Okay, so it realizes that the web browser has asked for certain file on the server. Okay, certain file on the server. Therefore it requests the operating system running on the server for that file. Okay, so a HTTP server software, it will understand that the web browser has asked for so and so. After interpreting the command, HTTP command received by the server from the browser, after interpreting the HTTP commands that are transmitted to the server, the HTTP server software will understand that the web browser has asked for so and so web page, so it will request the operating system present on the server side to fetch that web page, Okay, so at the server side, you are having a large amount of memory, and there are different types of web pages present in that web server. So you have to access specific web page. So in order to access that specific web page, your there should be some operating system where it can try to it will have the idea of which file is located at the what memory. Okay, your operating system, it will have idea about what are the different hardwares connected to it, what are the different files that are present in its memory, and what is their memory location. All these things are things will be can be understood by a server, can be understood by a operating system. So HTTP server side software, it will request the operating system to locate that file that the browser has request or to fetch the file that the browser has requested. Okay, so here the operating system on the web browser the operating system on the web server locates that .htm file. Generally your web browser, see, for example, the web browser related files in web server will be saved by using .htm extension. Okay, the web pages that are saved or that are stored in the web server, they will be stored by using .htm extension. They will be stored by using .htm extension. Okay, so similar to your, for example, if you are trying to store your word file, okay, what is the file extension of your word file? It will be, it is .doc. It is .doc. So in a similar way, your HTML files will be stored by using .htm. They will be stored by using .htm. Okay, so that is, the operating system will fetch the HTML format of the web page. So in previous class also I have said, in web browser the web page will be stored in its HTML format. So but not only HTML is used to create your web page, there are many other languages like Java. Okay, you are using Java to create graphical user interfaces. Okay, you are using SQL, you are using PHP. Different languages are used to create a web page. Okay, but mandatory compulsory you use HTML tags. Okay, HTML is compulsory use. Other things are optional. You may or you may not use. Okay, so that is the thing. Now the HTTP software on the web server will hand over this HTTP response to the TCP IP software running on the web server. So here first what happens, the web server will get the operating system present on the web server will fetch the HTML tags of the web page, and after getting the HTML tags, this HTML tags will be handed over to the HTTP software running on the web server. This HTML tags will be handed over to the HTTP server, HTTP software running on the web server. Now HTTP software running on the web server will now hand over this HTTP response to TCP IP software running on the web server. Okay, so whatever the HTML tags that are responded to the HTTP server side software by operating system of the server will be now handed over to the TCP IP server side software. Okay, so the HTML tags are handed over to TCP IP server side software by HTTP server side software. Now here TCP IP software, what is the only function of TCP IP software is, it will, if it is to receive the data, it will receive the packets and it will try to convert those packets into, it will group the packets into some meaningful message. And when it wants to transmit the packets, when it has to transmit the packets, so when it transmits the packets, it will try to, whatever the message is there, it will try to divide that message into small packets. So a TCP IP stack, when it is transmitting, it will try to divide the bigger message into small packets and then transmit the data, and then transmit that packet. On the other side, if it has to receive the packet, then it will try to get the packets, and that packets are converted into meaningful data, meaningful message. The packets are reassembled. Whenever it is receiving data, TCP IP stack will reassemble the packet, and whenever it is sending the data, it will divide the message into packets. On receiving, it will assemble the packets into message. On sending, it will divide the message into packets. Okay, so here now TCP here you are sending the data from server. So here TCP IP software running on the web server, it will break the HTTP response. It will try to break the HTTP response into packets. And these packets are sent over the TCP connection to the client. Okay, so whatever the packets which contains the packets which contain the HTTP response, that is nothing but the HTML tags. The packets which contains the HTTP response, that are broken into smaller packets, and these packets are sent over the TCP connection that has been established at the starting of the communication to the client. Whatever the path that has been established by the client to the server, same path is used to carry the whatever the request has come by using the TCP connection through which the request has come to the server. The same connection is used to respond back to the server, respond back to the client. Okay, now IP takes care of routing. Okay, as you know, in previous class also I have explained, the internet protocol takes care of routing, and TCP takes care of reassembly and correctness of message. Okay, so IP takes care of routing and TCP takes care of reassembly of the HTTP response and its correctness of the message. Okay, so that is the thing. So here at the end of this slide, you are having the TCP, the HTML tags that are received by the HTTP response are transmitted back to the client in packet format by the TCP IP stack present at the server side over the same TCP connection that has been established at the starting of the communication by the web browser. Whatever the TCP connection that has been established by the web browser, same connection has been used by the server to transmit the packets of HTML tags. Okay, now here next, after the once the packets are transmitted over the by the server, the TCP IP software on the client side, it will receive the packets. Okay, now whatever the packets that are transmitted by the server, those packets are received by the TCP IP software on the client computer. Okay, TCP IP stack software on the client computer will receive those packets, and after receiving those packets, the TCP IP software on the client side, it will check for the correctness. It will first check for the correctness. So if there are any errors, that are transmitted by the server, then it will once again request for the server to retransmit the retransmit. So if there are no errors, if the entire message is correct, then what happens? The TCP IP software on the client side, if the entire message is correct, it will try to, if all the packets are correct, not the message, if all the packets are correct, the TCP IP software on the client side, it will reassemble the packets, and so after reassembling all the packets, so once you reassemble all the packets received from the web server, what will you have? You will have a HTML tags of the web page. Okay, you will have the HTML tags of the web page. Okay, so that is the thing. So you will have the HTML tags of the web page. Whatever the web page you have requested at the starting of the communication, whatever the web page you have requested, you will have the you will have the HTML tags of that web page. Okay, so that is the thing. You will have the HTML tags of that web page, or you will have HTML format of the web page. Okay, after reassembling of the packets, you will have HTML format of the web page. Okay, now after reassemble it, the TCP IP software on the client side, it informs that the TCP IP software on the server side. Okay, so after reassembly of the entire packets, the TCP IP software on the client side will inform the TCP IP software on the server side that the web page was correctly received. Okay, the web page, whatever the web page you have transmitted, we have received it correctly. Okay, so who will inform who? The TCP IP software on the client side, it will inform to the TCP IP software present on the server side. It will inform to the TCP IP software present on the server side. Okay, so the server gets once the server gets this information, so once the TCP IP software of the server gets this information, it will inform the HTTP of the server. Okay, it will inform the HTTP of the server. Okay, so the HTTP of the server will be informed that the data, whatever the web page that has to be transmitted, it has been properly transmitted to the server. Okay, so now the next step is the received web page is in the form of HTML format. Okay, so the web page, whatever that has been transmitted by the server, it is not in a readable format. You cannot understand. If you just go through that HTML tag, you will be not able to understand that HTML code. Okay, so it is not in a simple English, it will have some commands. Okay, so these commands have to be converted into a readable format. So here the web page, now who has to convert this into a readable format? That is the web browser has to convert this commands into a readable format. It has to convert this command into a readable format. Now here uh, here the HTML format, the web page that is in the HTML format, it has to be converted into a readable format, and that duty is taken care by your web browser. Your web browser takes care of converting a HTML format web page into a readable format. Okay, so once the HTML once the web page is converted into a readable format, it will be displayed on the client computer. Once the web page is converted into a HTML format, then it will be displayed on the screen of the client computer. See, that is uh, see there are different commands for your sorry, there are different commands for different data. Okay, different commands for different data, different styles of data. Okay, so if you view a web page, your web page is not a, it is colorful, there are many colors. Okay, if you view a web page, there are different colors and different font styles and different font sizes. Okay, some font style some size will be very large, that is headings and side headings, they will be bold. Some of the data will be in italics, and some of the data will be underlined. All this data, and some data will be shining. Okay, and it will moving from up and down and down to up. So for all these things to happen, the thing is, you need to have a for all these things, all these effects or all these different styles, how you are able to achieve means by using HTTP commands. By using HTTP commands, you are able to achieve this different kinds of data, different styles of data, different font styles, different font sizes, different styles, okay, and different orientations. All these things are possible by using your HTML data. Now something, there is a option to know. How can you know? Just a minute. Inspect. Settings. Settings. Setting. Okay, sometimes uh, generally in working of web browser, sometimes you not only have your web pages are not only created in your HTML format, but sometimes you will be also using other languages. Okay, you will be also using other languages like HTML, uh, like Java. Okay, uh, I'm trying to get the show you how your HTML, how your normal page, uh, when it is converted to your HTML code, how does it look? Okay, I'm looking to get the HTML code of a uh, specific web page. Okay, just a minute, I'll try to show you. Okay, so once I will show you. See, I cannot show you here, but I will show you on the screen. Okay. So see here. So if you can see on the screen, um, for example, see, this is your web page. Now this is your web page. So you are able to look this web page. Now this browser, whatever the browser here I am using Chrome. Okay, I'm using Google Chrome to convert this to get to view this web page. I'm using Google Chrome to view this web page. Now I will show you if this now you are able to see it in a readable format. See, you are having a head that is at the topmost left side of the page. Okay, whose font size is larger compared to all the other things, and it is black in color, and you are having different fonts and different styles. Okay, so now let us see this HTTP code of this specific web page. Okay, so before it is converted to a readable format, I will show you how does it look. Okay, so in order to look that, if you want to see what is the HTML code, just right click, and after right clicking it, here you are having, there are many options, reloads here. So go for view page source. If you click on view page source, see here you can see. Okay, here you can see. Okay, whatever the HTML code, whatever the code that is used to create this web page, okay, that is present over here. Okay, so the web page that is used to create the the HTML code that is used to create the web page is present here. you are able to view this thing. Okay, so that is the thing. So your browser converts all this thing into a readable format. Okay, if there is no browser, you will get this HTML code and you will be not able to understand what is what. You will be not able to understand what is what. But as you are having browser, you are able to understand what is this thing. Okay, so that is the. Okay. So I wanted to enlighten you with this practical example of your HTML tag. Okay. So here these all things are different HTML. Okay. So here you can see you are having, okay, HT head, okay, title head, that is why it is in bold. Okay, so that is the thing. Okay. So I think you are clear with this thing. Okay. So thank you for your patience, and in the next class we'll try to cover few more topics related to web browser, and we have completed a web browser and web server operation. We'll try to see few more topics related to your internet related applications. Okay, thank you.